right, are you ready?
I'm ready. Ooh, we got a big boy there.
I love it. I love the widget sound.
Remember, 45-degree angle.
45-degree angle.
40 degrees Fahrenheit. Since 1856, Murphy Stout is brewed in Cork. I love Cork, one of my favorite cities. Using authentic recipe, we pride ourselves in only using the finest natural. I'm going to stop reading.
There's a nice cascade.
Oh, yeah. You got a little bit of fish eyes there, an aggressive pour. I was always told when pouring Guinness and Murphy's and Beamish back in the day when Beamish was still around.
Yeah.
No fish eyes.
You don't want any.
No. Even this with just a couple guys. Too much. Got to pop those. So pop, 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 pop. So
Want it nice and creamy.
you want a nice frothy, velvety, creamy head. Wait, what? So anyway, what are we doing?
We are talking about Irish stouts.
Ooh, my favorite of stouts.
We're not talking about Guinness.
We aren't. Although I do love Guinness.
Guinness is great, but
Guinness is good. Guinness is great. We surrender our will. Wait, no.
but yeah, I decided to go with the Murphy Stout because it's been a long time since I've had a Murphy Stout.
I will say this. A properly poured Guinness, fresh Guinness is on draft, is one of the greatest things on earth. Until you've had the exact same thing from Murphy's. It is a slightly different flavor profile.
Yep.
It is goddamn delicious. I always ranked it. My rankings when we had at one point when I was working at McGurk's, we had 4 Irish stouts on tap.
Oh, really?
And it was number 1, Murphy's. Number 2, Guinness. Number 3, Beamish. Number 4,
What's the fourth one?
Bare Knuckle Stout.
Oh, I don't know that one.
That was from Anheuser-Busch.
Oh, okay.
And the tap was egregiously large. And it had a picture of an old-timey boxer guy. A wood carved this huge fucking thing. And if I'm honest, if you just tap that keg of Bare Knuckle Stout, like first couple of pints, it was legitimately good. It wasn't great, but it was good.
What happens after?
For some reason, it didn't hold up as well as the other kegs.
Huh.
I don't know why, but c'est la vie, it's no longer around. It died around the time of Anheuser World Select. R.I.P. So, Irish Stout. What do you want to talk about? Home brewing or?
Yeah, have you homebrewed an Irish Stout?
I have. As we talked about the brown ale, stout is a style you can brew, and you can get away with a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, it's a forgiving.
It's a very forgiving style.
Did you put yours on nitro?
That's the thing. You can brew it, but unless you spend at least a couple $100, probably more, probably closer to like $400 to set up and have one of your taps be nitro, and then get the gas for nitro and do all the settings and like dial it in.
Yeah.
You're never going to get nitro, which means you have to do an Irish Stout via traditional carbonation, which is fine.
It's fine, but
it is nowhere near the same.
It's not the same, yeah.
And also one of the things with Irish Stout is there's a little bit of tanginess.
Sure.
It's from kettle souring, and that is not something that most homebrewers will do, and you can't do it on an extract. You can lower or raise the pH whichever way it goes with like water additives, but you'll never get that. You'll never get the smoothness in the nitro, and you'll never get that slight tang that reprieves you from the silky, and somewhat times there's some sweetness.
Yeah.
So it's an easy style to brew, but you'll never be able to get it to Guinness. I often say this: you can brew an Irish Stout, and it'll be good. But Guinness and Murphy's have already made the perfect Irish Stout, just like Budweiser is the perfect lager.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. You'll never get better than that. In terms of a light lager, Bud. Pilsner or Kettle will be the only other one. So this is like, you'll never breach this pinnacle. So
yeah.
Happy if you try, but this is hard to beat. But as I said, this is one of the best beers to homebrew because it smells terrific.
Sure.
When you're doing it, it smells amazing. Sometimes you brew an IPA and it's a little stinky.
Yeah.
Your house smells like a combination of bread and coffee, and it's not bad.
Ooh.
Also, this is my favorite style of beer.
Oh, yeah?
Period, the end.
Right on.
Period, the end, because a 20-ounce Imperial pint of Guinness, like the glass you have, or Murphy's, if I'm lucky enough to find it, Murphy's. Most places it's Guinness, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
99% of places will be Guinness.
Unless you're in Cork.
You're
probably drinking Guinness.
Yeah. But a 20-ounce pint, I usually finish it in 4 to 5 pickups
Gulps.
of the glass, gulps, sips, whatever else.
Yeah, because you can gulp it.
Oh,
It's so smooth.
the low carb with it being nitro is just. People are like, oh, it's sick. It's so thick and blah blah blah, and it's just so filling. It's really not.
It's really not.
Also, it's not that many calories.
No, I don't. I'm looking right now on the can. I'm sure they don't say on the Murphys, but like Guinness is just a shade over like a Bud Light as far as calories go. Like it's
Like per ounce for sure.
yeah.
You know, if you look at like a can of Murphy's or Guinness versus a 12-ounce bottle of Bud Light, yeah, you're going to be more. But I think Bud Light's somewhere in the 110 to 120 range. I think like Guinness, a 16-ounce can is like 125 or something like that.
And
It's basically diet beer.
right, and it's got so much more flavor.
It's unbelievable. Why more people don't drink Guinness is beyond me. And I think people that have bad experience with Guinness, because it tastes good out of the can. It tastes amazing on draft. My mom isn't really a big beer drinker. She always said, like, why do you guys drink Guinness? They finally went to Ireland, and she found half pints of Guinness, super fresh, and she loved them. So I'm a advocate for this style for so many other things, and I love it.
Yep, 125 for Guinness.
125 for
It doesn't say the size on this thing I'm looking at, but yeah,
maybe it's like a 12-ounce equivalency.
maybe.
Which-
But even if you get like that's what's nice about the cans too, and the Murphy's it does it too. It has it's got that little widget in there,
Love it.
which lets you get that smooth nitro feel. Because like you do the bottles of Guinness Draft, it's a different beer.
By the way, the cans are far superior to the bottles, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And actually, these Murphy's cans are tasting amazing right now.
Oh yeah, they're great.
They're like, this is not that far off a draft, a decent draft. When you get an amazing draft, it's otherworldly.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, are we localizing this to St. Louis?
Oh yeah, I mean I
God.
might as well.
There was
We're here.
there was an idea that my buddy and I were kicking around. We were going to go on a pub crawl around St. Louis because weirdly, I've never been on a pub crawl ever, and that's weird.
I haven't really either because St. Louis is not made for walking. you know?
That's very true. And we were going to do an Uber pub crawl, but it was exclusively going to be to like 10 or 12 places, and all we were going to drink was Guinness to find the best pint.
Oh, right on.
And we haven't done it, but if I had to say the best pints in St. Louis, Teguin downtown,
Sure.
very, very, very good. Like, they're in a weird location and a lot of other things, and they're a bit more expensive. But
Didn't Sarah used to work at Teguin?
yeah,
Years ago?
one thing they do very, very well is they pour a perfect pint of Guinness, and I can't argue
Nice.
with that. Amsterdam Tavern,
Where's that? I don't know that one.
that is in the Morganford neighborhood.
Okay.
Between Kings Highway and Grand Arsenal, the Morganford. Great soccer pub. That'll probably be the number one pub for the MLS team.
Sure.
They're already a huge soccer place, but they pour an amazing pint. Jack Patrick's downtown is a weirdly good pint. McGurk's is always a good one.
Sure.
The
I
past,
fucking hope so.
it's weird because it should be the best, but it can. If you're gonna get a pint of Guinness there, make sure you do it. I would say at the front bar because that's where they go through the most,
Yeah.
and hopefully the people working there do well. So I'd say those. But if I had to tell you to go get a pint right now for the best pint, it'd be Teguin or Amsterdam. So
Right on. That's
But,
before you do your pub crawl, though.
yes, well,
It's a cool idea for a pub crawl.
go to
Just to drink the same beer. you know?
every single place we can think of that's like Irish heritage or like, oh, we do a Guinness or we like focus on Guinness. It would be fun. And plus, we probably wouldn't be extra drunk.
Yeah.
Pat's in Dogtown. Seamus weirdly pours a terrible pint. It's like it's Seamus McDaniel's. Like, oh, do you pour good Guinness? Not really.
Nope.
They serve a lot of mozzarella sticks. But,
It's an Irish tradition,
yeah.
right? Yep.
You want mozzarella sticks and T-Rabs? Go to Seamus McDaniel's. Come on down. We'll serve you a Bud Light and a fucking pile of cheese. And we'll hit you with the shillelagh. Terrible. Yeah, so I can't speak highly enough of this style. I'm my ancestry is very Irish,
Yeah.
and I worked at McGurk's, so I like Irish things.
You're maybe a little biased.
I like Irish things. Grew up Catholic. I like bottling up my feelings. I like drinking. I like whiskey. I hate snakes. All things that really align myself with Ireland.
There you go.
Rainy days don't bother me. But yeah, no, it's good. I will say, if you ever get the chance to travel abroad and you find yourself in Ireland,
I would love to go to Ireland. I hear nothing but amazing things about it.
it's pretty great. And people are like, well, the Guinness and the Stouts are better in Ireland. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are better. Like it's not like we have bad stuff over here, but they're legitimately better. And the weirdest thing about Ireland I found out was this isn't the weird part, that they have a lot of sheep. No. We know they have sheep.
Sure.
But all the sheep are fluorescent.
How so?
To keep track of their sheep, people spray paint them very bright colors because they wander everywhere and they get in the road. So when you are going over a hill and you see a bright pink sheep, you notice it.
Yes.
So it has this weird, like, why the hell is this happening? But also, this makes complete sense. And I had been there. It's the only place I've been abroad. And I told my parents when they were going there, it's like, okay, so here's what happened. You should probably do this. This is where I found interesting. You should definitely go here. Also, watch out for the fluorescent sheep. They go, what are you talking about? Explain it to them. They're like, no. Are you sure that's a thing? I'm like, it's very much a thing. They came back. I go, how'd it go? They go, you are not lying about those goddamn fluorescent sheep. They're fucking everywhere. So yeah, no, if it is a cool trip, and I think it's a relatively reasonable trip for being abroad, at least to Europe, because I think the dollar still trades pretty well against the euro, and that's a place that's not terribly expensive. One thing I couldn't figure out was whenever I was paying for these stouts that I love so much, is I kept forgetting that you give them like a 20 euro note, and then they give you back your change, and it's all in coins, and I put the coins in my pocket because inherently my American mind's thinking coins aren't worth anything.
Yeah, coins are useless.
And so when I got back to the States, I had like 100 euros in coins that, spoiler alert, you can't cash in here. I had to find somebody who was going to Europe later and go like, I'll take 50 cents on the dollar. Can you just take away these goddamn coins? So, yeah.
Well, there's nowhere to trade them in the U.S.?
I went to the Central U.S. Bank in St. Louis, which is in Clayton, where they do currency exchange. And I had a couple of notes left. They go, sure, we'll exchange these. I go, all right, and I got all this. I'm like, dunk. Sack of coins. They go, oh, we don't take that. I'm like, why not? And they go, well, we have to ship it. And the cost of shipping all this weight across the Atlantic
is more than it's worth.
Then it makes the margins not work. And they were the ones that said, like, what you need to do is find somebody who's going back to Europe and see if you can work in exchange with them and take a loss. I was like, okay, great. So I ended up like, I had like $100 in euros, and I got like $70 back, or 70% or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, it was just like, when you're paying for Guinness, don't forget that those fucking coins are worth things. So, it's good. Oh, do you want another tangent?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
What do you got?
So, one thing I love about Irish Stout is that it's versatile as a beer working with other beers. It's one of the It's one of the only beers that you can mix with other styles and get a delicious drink. So you have all the half and half type drinks. So I'm going to drop some on you, and I'm going to ask you if you know what they are.
Okay.
Right?
I know a couple.
A black and tan.
Black and tan is a Bass on the bottom, Guinness on top.
Yes, an ale on the bottom.
Yeah.
But Bass is the traditional.
Bass is the tradition, yeah.
Some people use Smittix, but it doesn't really separate well. So I say Bass and Guinness.
Sure.
Okay. A half and half. I'll give you a hint.
Have Baileys in it?
God, I wish. Curdle that fucker up. No, it's Guinness on the top, and the bottom is another beer made by Guinness.
I mean, is it like a harp?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it'd be pretty similar.
Very nice. A black velvet, sometimes called erroneously a snake bite.
Oh. See, snakebite I think of as a cider.
And then Guinness on top?
And a Guinness on top.
This is where there's a little bit of disagreement. Because that is what I call a black velvet.
Okay.
A snakebite to me is cider and lager mixed.
Oh, right on. Okay.
But a lot of people call snakebite cider and Guinness. But apparently, the original black velvet was the top was Guinness, the bottom was champagne.
Ooh.
And then a black velveteen is cider and Guinness. Now, the only place I've seen that is Fado or Tagine. They go by a very traditional And maybe it's regional in Ireland. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Black Velvet though. It sounds better than Snakebite.
Black Velvet is a delight. It's one of my.
Yeah.
It's my go-to split beer.
What kind of cider do they use? Like
Traditionally we used Strongbow, like the dry Strongbow.
The original Strongbow.
Some people use Stella Cidra, but now it's it's common at Magners, but that's like sweet on sweet. And
Yeah, Magners is sweet as
not
fuck.
a huge fan of that.
That Stella cider doesn't taste like anything to me.
No,
It's so bland.
it's semi-sweet, which means it's right in the middle, and there's nothing offensive, but there's also nothing truly interesting about it.
Yeah.
But basically, any cider can go that way. How about this one? There's two answers to this: a black and blue.
Black and blue.
It is not blue cheese.
It's always a something and a Guinness on top. Yeah.
The Guinness is always going to be on top.
Yeah, that's a.
So I'm
given.
giving Guinness on top.
Blue. Oh, I don't know.
In St. Louis, I'll give you another second.
In St. Louis, is it a Bud Light?
Very close. Very close. What brand of theirs is
Is
blue?
it a Bush?
Yep.
Bush.
I've heard that in St. Louis is the black and blue. I've also heard black and blue being Guinness on top, Blue Moon on the bottom.
Yeah.
It separates. It's not great.
Neither one of those sound great.
And this is the last one I remember. It was called if I remember this correctly, it was called a Stinger. And you'll never get this one.
Okay.
So, a Stinger was Guinness on top, orange juice on bottom.
Wow.
And son of a bitch, it separates. And I gotta be honest, I thought it was gonna be horrific. It was tasty. I didn't want a full pint of it. But yeah.
Yeah, I would never think
think-
to.
I think there's a couple others in there, but those are the main ones I remember. 'Cause that's most of the beer styles. Like
Well,
there's-
you can always do like car bombs and stuff.
yeah,
where you-
they're like I'm talking like the half and half ones.
Sure.
There's like a black and red where you can put like some sort of red ale, like Killian's on the bottom because
Yeah.
everyone has Killian's on tap.
Sure.
It's like, perfect. Ripped from today's headlines. But yeah, there's the car bombs. There was the what do we call it? We used to call it G bombs. It was basically when we'd be behind the bar, you pour it. We had 10-ounce Pilsner glasses, and we pour those, and we'd all slam them.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned how to love Guinness. It's not because I enjoyed the taste. It's just I was forced to drink it so much that it was basically Stockholm syndrome. So I learned to love it. But now it is my favorite. Desert island drink. I'm taking Guinness. Damn the weather. Damn the weather.
Well, and you can go on the Guinness diet. You can live on Guinness.
Yes, the original meal replacement shake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is scientifically feasible, not advised.
No.
But
But an Irish stout like a Guinness or a Murphy's, I believe Costco has a Guinness contract, a 24-pack of Guinness cans for $24.
right on.
Buck a can, it's hard to argue with.
I sell 18 packs of Guinness cans, but I don't remember how much.
They're more than $1 a
they
can.
are. Probably.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
I think like an 8-pack is like $13.99 at like a grocery store or something
Yeah,
like
that
that,
sounds
or
about right.
more maybe. It's expensive. So that's about the extent of my Guinness knowledge. Other than I know how to pour like, and when people put those stupid shamrocks at the top, I can do that.
Oh, yeah?
I can do a pretty good shamrock. If you do it wrong, it turns out looking like a penis. But if you do it right, it looks like a less gross penis. I knew some people could do a blue note in the top, like a perfect blue note, which was
Right on.
impressive. But other than that, I was always a fan of just pouring it straight, sleek, and clean on the top, nothing, and just have it being that. And the head on a Guinness should be about your thumb, or if you have thin thumbs, it should be about a quarter.
Right on.
My thumb is roughly like a $50.
So cool.
That's what I have. There aren't that many examples of Irish stouts.
Not really. I haven't had a Beamish in fucking forever because they're just gone.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't even think it's in the States anymore.
Is Beamish its own thing, right? Like it's not owned by some giant conglomerate.
That
or
is a
anything?
great question. I always thought it was its own place, and I would imagine that's still the case. But
Yeah, because it's just gone. I haven't seen a Beamish
I'm just trying to think who else does it. Like, I know Schlafly does an Irish Stout sometimes.
Yeah, they used to. I don't know if they do anymore.
Urban Chestnut does one called
Kinsale.
Kinsale, right?
It's not bad.
I want to say Breckenridge.
It's real roasty.
One?
It's got a lot of roast on it, that Kinsale.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
I haven't had one. Kinsale. Breck has one.
Breckenridge has one. It's a nitro one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, that might be it, man.
I'm trying to look up Beamish to see if it's owned by anybody, but I put in Beamish and not Beamish Stout. Hold on, please. As we mentioned, the most podcasty thing to do in the world is to look something up on Google while you're talking.
Yeah, it's good stuff. People love it.
Oh, Beamish and Crawford was a brewery in Cork. Opened in 1792. Operated until 2009.
Oh no!
It was most recently owned by Heineken, but it closed in 2009. Beamish Stout is still brewed in Cork at a nearby Heineken-operated facility.
Oh, so it is a Heineken thing. Fucking Heineken.
Yeah, man.
So it's brewed somewhere else anyway. It's not at the original.
No, and I think it might just be a Southern Ireland thing now, because I remember. So wait, does that mean Beamish and Murphy's are in Cork, which is south central Ireland, and then Guinness is Dublin?
Yep.
Jesus, it's all within 100 miles of each other.
Well, I mean, Ireland's not that big
Ireland's
in general, right?
No, Ireland's the size of Indiana, to give you perspective. For those who have been to Indiana lately, I haven't, thank God.
No, I see, like, not shit. I mean, then not around here anyway. There's plenty of examples of the style, like Sun King makes one, and Sprecher.
Sun King is a great brewery. They're really good.
Sun King was the guest brewer at one of the Wolpertinger festivals at Urban Chestnut one year, and I went and I tried everything else first, and then I went to try some Sun King, and it was all gone. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, you ran out of beer. Like, we're an hour and a half into this 4-hour thing, and you're out of beer. You underestimated us, didn't you, buddy?
I hear where you're coming from, and also Wapeltinger is a shit show. That is a lunacy. There's plenty of space, but the sheer volume of beer being pulled there,
so much beer. And the Wolpertinger itself is like the strongest beer that Urban Chestnut makes.
Also, not a good beer.
No.
It's awful.
It's a barrel-aged barley wine. Like, pass.
Pass. Hard pass.
I just can't do barley wines.
Who wants to do barley wines?
People do.